Time to make some coffee. So here's my camp kitchen setup. It's pretty simple, really. When I'm traveling alone like this, I don't usually like to start a fire. I like to keep things simple. When I'm traveling like this, I'm usually traveling. I'm not usually hanging out at a campsite or campground for very long. And that's definitely the case here. And oftentimes when I'm traveling, I'm in the backcountry where a lot of resources aren't available. I was able to get the water from a spigot just now, but sometimes I'll get water from the river or stream or a lake, wherever I'm at, and then treat it so I don't get giardia. But luckily I have fresh, clean water right now. I'm still gonna keep it simple. So this container is full of water. It's dual purpose. It's gonna make my coffee and it's gonna heat my water for my oatmeal. So I only have to heat one container, thus saving the isobutane that I like to use while traveling like this. And these are really, really simple to use. It's just connecting a small MSR stove to it. For those of you who use the MSR stoves. I've got something similar. I used to have an MSR, but MSRs are rather expensive, and I found a better way to do things. I bought this Tech City? That's it. I don't even know the name brand. I wouldn't have known it if it wasn't written down there. But I bought this off of Amazon about 3 or 4 years ago. And this is really handy because I just open it up like I just did, flip these prongs out, connect it to the isobutane container. There's a little knob here. It had a little metal piece that helped me twist it on and off so the isobutane can come out, but it broke. Never fear though. My Gerber multi-tool takes care of that. And what's really great about this Tech City, is I don't need flame. I don't need a lighter. I don't need matches or anything to light this. I just need to turn on the butane, press this red button here, fires right up. So now I'll just place my water on top, let it heat to almost boiling, and then I'll dump a little bit in this container, which I'll have my oatmeal in, and then the rest I'll use to make coffee. It heats up pretty quickly too. In fact, the oatmeal is ready. It's been about, 5 minutes or so. The oatmeal's ready. The water for the oatmeal is ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and just pour a little bit in there. Who needs to measure? And I'll let it heat up a little bit more so it's warm enough for coffee. But there seems to be an ant in my food. I'm pretty classy here on the Great Egret channel. Give that about, 30 seconds or so. And the water for the coffee is ready now. So what I like to do, and again, not worrying about measuring, is start by taking the water off the heat. Use my Gerber tool again and shut it down. And I don't want to touch it now because it's hot, but I will remove that in a little bit after it cools down. Set that aside. And you outdoors folks, or some non-outdoors folks, may know the term cowboy coffee. So I just buy ground coffee. I'm kind of a coffee snob when I'm at home. I'm kind of a coffee snob when I'm out in the backcountry or camping or whatever. This is pretty good coffee. So when I'm at home, I have whole bean coffee and I ground it and I do the whole, 9 yards, morning coffee ritual. But right now, I'm just gonna dump in what I think is the appropriate amount and stir it up and use the lid with these 6 holes in here to pour the coffee out. Yeah, I get some grounds in my cup, but that's part of the enjoyment. And that's basically it. This is how I eat breakfast in camp. If I'm making lunch or dinner, I'll eat something simple that doesn't require a lot of fire. Dinner, I maybe do pasta, or lunch, I'll probably do like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or if I don't want to carry the jelly with me, just peanut butter sandwiches. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll buy, if I really want to go lightweight, sometimes what I'll do is I'll buy a bunch of tortillas and a container of peanut butter and just have peanut butter tortillas. That's when I'm really in the backcountry, and for some reason I won't be able to use flame. The risk of forest fires is moderate or high, or I just want to go really lightweight. I may have said this, I think I said this before in one of my videos. I believe it was the Get Lost video. I talk about my dad and I. We used to spend a lot of time outdoors when I was a kid. That's why I love being out here. It's something I'm familiar with, something that's inherent in me. And anytime my dad and I would do something relaxing, whether it be sitting in a canoe fishing, or sitting around a campfire, or hanging out in the tent, or even watching a baseball game on TV at home, he'd have this phrase that he would say, and it'd be in a moment of silence. It'd be perfect. And it'd be when you least expect it. He'd just sit back and, hold on a second. My dad always has a hat on, so to recreate this, I'll need to wear a hat. So he'll have his hat on, moment of silence, when you least expect it. He'll sigh, he'll move his cap a little bit, and he'll say, "This is living." And it's something that stuck with me to this day. I guarantee you're gonna hear that phrase again in another one of these videos before this series is over. This is living. So when I'm traveling alone like this too, I like to maximize my time. Especially when I want to get on the road on my motorcycle. Because it's getting a little late in the day today. So what I do is I'll eat, drink my coffee, and tear down camp at the same time. So that's what I'm going to do now. So mainly when I'm packing, I'm putting articles of clothing that I know I'll need on a regular basis in the front here. Things like the liner of my leather jacket, things that I know I don't need quick access to, especially on a hot day like today, I'll stick back here. Along with my hammock and my sleeping pad, and a few other things will go back here. Like dirty laundry, so I always know where it is. All right, I got everything out of the tent, I got the stakes up. There's still dirt and crumbs and stuff inside the tent. It's a little sandy here, so it's just difficult to not get that stuff in there. What I see some people do is pick up the tent by the poles and vigorously shake all that stuff out. While the tent is lightweight and it's easy to shake stuff out like that, it's not good for your tent poles. I speak from experience. About 15 years ago, I vigorously shook a tent like that and snapped my poles. You can also unwind the cord inside the poles that hold it together. So it's better to just take the poles apart, set them aside, turn the tent inside out, shake it, turn it back right side in. A lot of people say right side in. I don't believe that's a phrase. Now I want to pack up everything. My footprint, my tent, my rain fly, and my sleeping bag. I store it all in the same stuff sack. And as I said yesterday during the setup video, I want to pack it in order of what I want to remove at the time I need it. So I'm gonna need my footprint first, then the tent, then the fly, then the sleeping bag. So the sleeping bag is what I need last, so that goes in first. Next, the fly. And as I was saying yesterday, there are some outdoors folks who say, roll your tent, don't stuff it, because it will ruin the life of your tent. I'm not in that school. I'm in the school that says stuff away because it saves space, as lightweight and compact that these can get. If you feel otherwise, let me know in the comments. If somebody has a pretty good argument, I've been known to change my mind. Now that I got the tent in there, finally the footprint. All right, just a few more things that we need to do before, where's my coffee? Can't talk to you guys without my coffee. Be right back. All right, just a few more things to do before we head off. Drink more coffee for one, and clean out the containers that I used for breakfast, which won't take long. It's just a matter of rinsing them out. I don't do a whole lot of dishes. I don't create a whole lot of mess, so I think just a quick rinse out is good, and then make sure I'm using boiling water the next time I'm cooking. I'm doing motorcycle camping, but if I'm doing more car camping with a lot of different people, I'll make sure I'll clean everything really well. This is light, fast, and easy camping. This is what it's about when you're on the road. So I'll just kind of wrap up a few more things here, get the bike loaded up, and we'll get on the road. Oh, and with this Tech City camping stove, I paid like $8 for it when I bought it, way back when, 4 years ago. I think it's a little bit more expensive now, but I'll put a link down below for it. You can buy it at Amazon. It might be $15 or $17 now. Still, much better deal than the MSR one, and this thing has lasted me a lot longer than I would have imagined it would have. So on the back here, fuel can down below here, 1 gallon that I may or may not need later. On this side in the lower part is my sleeping pad. I'll be gone soon, don't worry. Crows. And then a layer of clothing. And then my kitchen equipment, including the coffee, my pans, the coffee can, and the isobutane container right there. I got a little bit left, but I may need to buy another one soon. And then I'll go ahead and seal this guy up. What's great about this is I can use these hooks here to cinch it down. So it holds to the bike nice and clean. And right now you can see it's resting on the fender, but once I get everything tied down, you'll see that it's gonna be lifted up a bit. All right, rest of the stuff is gonna go in here. Let's finish loading up.